live just kind of over there, and we've been staring at this spot for a while now, envisioning getting to fill it up with someone other than construction workers and contractors. And it's so good to see you guys here. I cannot say enough just how many miracles we've seen that have led us to this point, and I'm not gonna take time to go through all of that tonight. I do, at some point we're gonna do some kind of a special devotional, because it truly has been, just in the past week, we've had key people end up in the hospital sick, out sick, people going out of town. We've had parts that get lost in shipping, and I mean, the opposition truly has been intense. Just today, I was sitting over here with the construction crew, and we were kind of looking around like, wow, this looks pretty awesome. We're super excited, and I kind of made the comment to him, the general contractor, that there's been a lot of opposition to get us here, and he agreed 100%. He's like, I've never had a project, and he's been doing this, his family's been doing this for 3 generations. He said he's never had a project where there's been so much opposition like we've seen here. And we'll go into this in more detail, but what it led me to believe and know for a fact is, and there was a hurricane in Florida, which there was the company that monitors our alarm system. They have all their data there, and they needed a report from testing they did on Friday, but they couldn't talk to the people because they were like out of power with the storm, a hurricane in Florida. Anyways, that's just all the past like 4 or 5 days. But I know that there is no way that we'd be here right now without heaven's help. Like, that's what this has led me to believe. The opposition's been real, but I don't know. I think Heavenly Father wanted us to know that this wasn't me, this wasn't even the general contractor, this wasn't anybody. It was him pulling the strings to make this all come together. So with that, we're gonna go through just some basic, and we're gonna fly through this. If you need to review it again, Sister Hayes is here recording, and we'll put this up on YouTube so you can review later. If you have questions, let us know. But just a couple of things to be aware of. The biggest thing I wanted to talk about here is drop off and pick up. So it looks like everybody kind of found and noticed that this is a one-way loop, right? When you hit the fork, you take a right. And for drop off and pickup, we're gonna ask that you keep on the right-hand side of the road and leave the left open, so that if anybody needs to come in and park to come pick up their kids or whatever, they have the avenue to do that. And then we'll work it like drop off and pick up before, where we'll just have students staged. You'll pull up, we're gonna have students exit the vehicle when they're being dropped off, and then enter the vehicle from the right-hand side. We don't want anybody getting in or getting out or coming in on the left-hand side where there could be traffic, people coming by to turn in and park. For leaving, when out here at La Cañada, right, that's kind of if you're coming from Rancho, you're either coming south on La Cañada or you're coming across from La Villita. I recommend coming down La Villita. If you're coming down that way, it'll loop all the way around, and then it's just a straight shot across La Cañada. That's probably the easiest way to get in without dealing with the La Cañada traffic. But our biggest thing that we want to focus on, and the town is going to be watching for this. They're, especially the first week, they're going to have a police car out here watching drop off and pick up, and making sure that when we're leaving, when we're heading this way and coming onto La Cañada, that we're all turning right to get out. And the reason for that is we want quick turns out. We want to clear that out so people who are trying to turn right in have a very quick and easy way to get in, and we're not backing up on La Cañada, if that makes sense. So right out, and then either come straight across to get in, or you can turn right in off of La Cañada. If you have any questions about that, let me know, but just be warned, they're going to be looking for that. It is 15 miles an hour all the way down that long road. Please respect that. There's neighbors that have blind driveways that if they're pulling out and you're going faster than that, you're going to clip them. So keep that school zone speed limit. Let's just make sure we're respecting that. As you'll notice, there's still a little bit of work to do here. This building back behind us, you're welcome to peek in. It looks like a disaster area. It will look way better than that before we're ready to occupy it, but there will be no students access. These doors are going to remain locked until the construction is finished. But this is where we're going to end up doing our choir and devotional. We'll have staff offices and admin offices in here. For the time being, we're all kind of crammed into these other areas. So we have plenty of space, but just so you know what that is, There'll be a little bit of touch-up paint happening in the bathrooms, but everything's functional, everything's working well, and we're ready to go. We are going to keep these doors locked during school hours, so students will be able to get in and out for bathrooms. But if you're coming to volunteer for a classroom responsibility, or you're coming to pick up your kids, knock on the door and then stand in front of the window that's right next to the door, so that the teachers can see that you're you and that it's safe to open the door. One of the biggest, we've been asked a lot about security here. Our favorite thing about this location is that unless you have a map, it's almost impossible to find. And some of you probably experienced that as well. But still, if you're coming, just knock, stand in front of the window, and we'll let you in and let you pick up your kids or come in and help in the classroom, if that makes sense. We're going to hold questions to the end, okay? Let's see, any documents that you need. If you're new, this is your first time coming to a private school, there is an affidavit of intent for private school that you have to fill out and submit to the county. That paperwork is in school queues under your documents box. You have access to that. Everyone should have, I believe, emails for uniform and the rest of curriculum and first month tuition invoices. Please just go ahead and process those through ESA. If you have any questions, let us know. There go our flyers. Thank you, Aaron. Put them there. We'll hold it now with my water bottle. Thank you, buddy. Let's see. Okay, if you want to walk your kids in the first day of school, you're welcome to do that. Just come in and park. Walk them in, please. We don't ever during drop-off and pickup want to leave our vehicles while they're in the drop-off pickup line. So if you need to get out of your vehicle, just come around and park in the parking lot, and we'll get you taken care of.
Brother Hayes?
Yes.
What if that gets bogged down tomorrow morning because so many people want to bring their students in?
So just like we did here, if the parking lot gets too full, you can park on the right-hand side of the road. Just going down this way, we want to leave this area open, but once you pass the parking lot, pull over, park on the right, and people can leave as they're doing drop-off. Good question. Drop-off is at 7:45. Pickup is at 2:45 or 2:30 to 2:45. Let's see, we will release students to you. So again, you just pull up, we'll have your students staged. Bear with us the first couple of days while we memorize your cars and everyone's faces. We got a lot of new faces, but we'll get things moving pretty quickly by the end of the week. Okay, if you have somebody picking up your children that isn't you, we need to make sure that they're listed as an authorized pickup. So the next thing that you need to do tonight, if you haven't done so already, is go into school queues. On your left-hand side, there's a quick access menu, and you can go to the student information system. There's a few modules in there that you need to pick up, listing who your authorized pickup people are, if there's any medical issues that we need to know about, emergency contacts, all of that's in there. So go through, fill those out. If someone comes to pick up your student and it's not you and they're not on that authorized pickup, we'll have to call you to get authorization before we can release your student. So make sure anyone that you want to pick up your kids is listed there, and we should have no issues. Let's see. Okay, general policies, just things to be aware of. Let's see. We highly recommend eliminating screen time Monday through Thursday. The differences that you'll see in your kids and their ability to retain information is night and day. We're going to do we did this last year, but we're going to do another No Screen November challenge this coming year, and we'll have a lot more information about that for you. But please just take that seriously. Uniforms, the Thursday shirts are for Thursdays only. You'll pick up t-shirts and your uniform shirts right after this, after we're done here. Sister Day will be in there helping you get your shirts and find where they're at. I believe a lot of it's labeled, but she'll be in there to help you pick up your uniforms.
And then if you need to swap anything out, she's there for that too.
If you need to swap anything out, right. So if you hold up a shirt and it's obviously way too small or way too big for your kids, we have extras of all the sizes so she can help work through some of those issues. We don't have school on Fridays, so please do everything you can to schedule appointments on Fridays. That's not always possible, but just as much as you can, make use of that day so we minimize absences and kids don't miss out on important information. Everyone needs to bring a snack every day, water bottles, and then their own lunches. every classroom does have a mini fridge. So if there's an element in your lunchbox that needs to be refrigerated, they can pull it out of their lunchboxes, put it in the refrigerator. We don't have refrigerators big enough for them to stick their whole lunchbox in there. So just keep that in mind. Say a little beetle friend flying around. They make lots of noise, but they're relatively harmless. Okay, so bring those with you. Student folders and announcements. Our main communication method, and I don't have one with me, but there'll be a colored folder that will come home with your students every single week. There will be a parent letter in there with upcoming announcements that are important, and there'll be a summary of what your student learned during the week in class. So if you have any questions about what they've learned, you can reach out to your teachers. All announcements will be there, and we will send reminders via email as well, but that letter that goes home every week is the primary communication method. So look for those. Reading calendars. We have our general homework policy for everybody is 30 minutes of reading a day, but each class will have a challenge where they track reading. So it's like they get a reading X for every 30 minutes they read, and the students, the top 2 or 3 students with the most reading X's in the class will get a free book at the end of each quarter. So there will be a calendar in there that will come home over the weekends so that you can track those over the weekends, and then they report every morning what they read the day before. So use those over the weekend so they can report on Monday. For foundations and Love of Learning A, is it, or just foundations?
I think and Love of Learning A.
Okay, so for foundations and Love of Learning A, those calendars will be in their folders. Please mark for your students, because trying to remember 30 minutes for a reading X and how all that works can be a little bit confusing. So,
And especially over the weekend, little ones come back on Monday. They have no idea how much they read over the weekend. Sometimes
Yep.
they tell me none. And I'm like, I know you read a ton over this weekend.
yeah,
So just help them
it's really
mark
easy to forget what they've read over the weekend, so use that to help mark down, send it back with their folders, and then they'll have it there to report Monday morning. I read, I've got 20 reading X's, or I read this many hours. If you want to just keep track of time, we can convert that into X's for you. So just keep track of their time some way on those calendars, and we'll make sure and tally them up. Okay, promise we're getting there.
Those reading calendars can live in their folders if you want, or you can keep them at home until the end of the month, and then when you see a new folder in there, you can turn it in then. Like, you
Okay.
don't have to send it back and forth. It's up to you how you want to do that, but
Everybody
either
hear
way,
that?
it'll go.
Okay, so you can keep it in the folder, especially for those younger 2 classes. You can keep it at home and then just send it back at the end of the month, or you can just keep it in that folder. When the teachers go through it each week, they're not just going to take it and throw it away. So they'll hold on to it. Okay. Homework and projects. We talked about the importance of reading. That 30 minutes of reading will make a difference in whether your child progresses in their reading levels throughout the year. It absolutely will. So take that seriously. There are monthly projects. We've kind of talked about all of that with everybody as you've come in, and so I think everyone is aware of that. If you have any questions, let us know. Let's see. Just a reminder that candies, cookies, soda, or colored punch and beverages aren't allowed at school. If they eat it over lunch, we lose the afternoon, right? Kids just have a hard time. So focusing, so make sure they're coming with healthy snacks, healthy lunches, so their brains are fueled for what they need.
Please
Diet
no
soda
drink
doesn't
packets.
count. Huh?
Please no drink packets.
Yeah, drink packets. So just send, yeah, no sugary stuff. Absolutely drink water. Water is a fantastic option. Yep. Okay.
Always wear your pajamas.
I think. Okay, so for Track It Forward, the way that we track volunteer hours, there's an app that you're going to track it on. If you've been here before, you kind of already know how to use that. If you haven't been before, we'll send out an email with information on how to do that, how to download the app, and how to get set up. So look for that
Today
Here.
or tomorrow.
today or tomorrow.
Yep.
That'll be coming out. If you have any questions, stop by and chat with me or Sister Day. Is she out? Sister Day's over here. She'll help you figure out how to get started on that if you have any questions or trouble.
Tonight counts. So you can log in and you can immediately track your hour for back to school night, and then your week is done.
I forgot we do that. So make sure and record an hour of volunteer time for being here tonight. And that'll be kind of your tester. If you can't figure out how to track that, get with Sister Day and she'll help you make sure and take care of that. For permission forms, the permission form system in School Cues is awesome, and it's actually very simple. When you open it up, and I was going to have this up on the board, but my projector is just not working very well. So you just have to remember, if you have multiple children, you'll get an email that will allow you to go in and fill out a permission form for that field trip. And there's a drop-down box that will let you fill it out and submit it multiple times for each of your kids. So you have to do that. If you submit it once and you have 4 kids, you didn't do it for everybody. So again, we'll send out information with that first one.
There's one that already went out to back to school, and I've gotten a ton of emails that they're already coming in, so that's awesome. But like, that was the reason that I sent you a field trip invited for tonight. Not because we actually have a field trip today, but just because I wanted everyone to be able to go in and look and be like, where is that drop down, and make sure that you can navigate that.
Yeah, so I wasn't sure if we were gonna make it, if you were gonna be able to get that out, but she did.
I did
so
it.
Everyone has an invitation to fill out a permission form. So go test it, make sure you know how to do it. Again, if you have questions, Sister Day's your person. Okay, I think that's it. Let's do a quick introduction of teachers. Let's start, we'll start at the bottom. The youngest, not the bottom.
We're
The
at the
youngest, work our
bottom?
way up. I know, bad use of language, sorry. Sister Hayes is our K1 Foundations teacher, which that class is here. Then we have Sister Harris in the back, waving. Who am I standing up actually real quick so we can see you guys?
Sorry.
Sorry, I think the folks over here may not be able to see you. Can you point to your class for me? Okay, and then we have Sister Hibbard in 4th, 5th, which we call Love of Learning B, and hers is the next one down from Sister Harris. And then we have Sister Gold, who is our middle school teacher, and hers is all the way down at the end.
Closest to the bathrooms, yay!
And then Brother Hibbard is our high school teacher, and he's right here closest to us. And then Brother Steed is in the back here. He's going to be in several different classes. So he's going to be teaching history for high school and middle school, and then teaching Liberty Studies for Sister Hibbard's class. So many of our students will be there, and we'll be able to interact with him and glean from his wisdom. And then we have Brother Mayer in the back here, and Brother Grover also in the back, who are our seminary teachers. So they'll be teaching seminary for the high school class only. So I think that's our team. We're thrilled to have you guys. Did I miss anything vital? We have an ongoing fundraiser for Cora Kids. So every other week, every other Wednesday is a pizza day. And then the off Wednesdays, students can come in out of dress code. We send emails the day before each of those things happen though. So if you don't know where that schedule is, you'll get an email the day before, and you'll know what you got to do. We'll put instructions for how to pay for pizza, what that looks like. Out of dress code is still following the modesty standards, right? So we have, modesty is, knee-length shorts, no straps for the, or no sleeveless shirts, things like that. We'll remind everybody of that in those emails. But just look out for those. We'll have more information coming as those events come. All right. I think that's it. We're going to call that. So what we're going to do now, I'll open it up to questions here in a second, but when we break from here, if you haven't visited your class, go ahead and do so now. You can turn in supplies underneath each of the headers. There's a list next to the post over here of things that your students can keep with them and take to their classes in their pencil boxes. They're welcome to take that and stash those in their desk now. And then make sure and go in. If there's a far door here that says FACP on the top, you can go in that door or the next one. They're both choir room doors. You can go in there, get your uniforms, come up and ask us questions, and we'll go from there. Okay, so I need questions from any parents.